Working on my 48 Ford Flathead Coupe today, and when I turn the key on, and you'll see here my gas gauge does not do much. Even though I got a good quarter tank in it, it only moves a little bit. So what that tells me is there's probably something wrong with the sending unit, because last fall when I ran it, the fuel tank and fuel gauge seemed to just work properly. So let's go to the back of the car and see what we're after here. Let's take a look. What Henry did was conveniently place the here we go, you can see it a little bit better. Did a real nice job of putting a nice little access door to the back here, so we'll take that out. It's pretty loose. I've had it out before, and this door just comes right up, and there's the sending unit. So what I've also done in the past is take a measurement of that resistance from this point here to ground, which will show that the sending unit is working correctly. So normally you'll get a resistance from anywhere from about 18 ohms to roughly about 120 maybe. So what I'm going to do is measure the resistance here and see what it says. I suspect it's going to be pretty low. Okay, as you can see, I'm only getting about 8 ohms measuring between that point and ground. So I know something is wrong with that float inside the gas tank. So let's take it apart and see what happens. Okay, I've removed all the screws, and let's pull up on this and see what we got in this float. Oh, there we go. You can see it. Yeah, I can see the problem from here. Alright, see the issue? Alright, well, that float is not going to do me any good like that, is it? Nope. Let's get it out of there. Alright, well, there seems to be the problem. We got a big hole in there, it just corroded away. So, what I'll do is get a new float. And then also what I'm going to do, I'll do a double check on this particular assembly here. Make sure that that's measuring the correct resistance. So let me kind of set this down over off to the side. I don't want to get any debris in the into the gas tank here. So let me set that down, and then I'll set up something to measure this. That should have a variable resistor in it and measure different resistances. So let me get that set up. Okay, I connected the wire back up, and now I have it at about half tank or so. I have the power on. Let's take a look at the gauge, and the gauge is working. So that confirms that the circuit is good, and of course the fuel gauge pickup is working just fine. So that's the issue there. So we'll get a new float, one that can handle the new unleaded fuels. So that'll drive us crazy. Okay, I received my sending unit gasket for the 48 Coupe. Here is the new style neoprene type. It's a little bit smaller, but it can handle all of the ethanol that's in the gasoline that will corrode brass over time. So let's install these and see if it works. Okay, I was able to install the new float for the sending unit. There it is. It's very secure. Seems to operate just fine, very freely. I got a new gasket there. So now I'm going to carefully install it and install the screws as well. Get that over here like that, and I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, I've got it mounted in. I got all the screws in. I just have to tighten them up. But what you'll notice, they have it in such a way that you can only install it a certain way. You can kind of check the distance between these two screws are different from these two screws, so the whole pattern is very unique. So you get the sending unit back in its proper direction. So let me tighten up the screws and reattach the wire. Okay, all of the screws are secure. Reattach the wire. Now let's go see how it looks on the dash. See if that gas gauge works. So what I did is I checked the fuel level before I put the sending unit in, and I have a just under let's say under a quarter tank. So let's see what happens here. There it comes up. Great. Yeah, that's about how much I have in it. Before I put the unit in, I took a quick look. So I got about maybe 2 or 3 gallons in there now. So right now I'm going to call that a success.